If I were to ask each of you right now, what do you want? What do you need? Because need may be deeper than want. More than anything else in your life right now. But because our time is short, so I'm going to just suppose that you are only a small number here. But if you were many here, there might be many different reasons, many different interests. Somebody may want to develop patience more than anything else at this moment in their life. Somebody may want to be able to sleep better. Somebody may want to be able to get a stronger willpower to do what they feel is right rather than to keep doing what they feel is wrong. Somebody may want to be able to concentrate better in their work or their study. Somebody may want to be able to feel more the feelings of others, to deepen their rapport for others, to become more creative, to become more conscious. And somebody may want to find God. But whatever is your greatest need, which you may or may not know. Somebody is smoking cigarettes and they really desperately need to give it up. They may or may not know that. They may or may not know that their greatest problem is impatience, for example. So whatever is your greatest need, it's that which meditation is going to fulfill for you first. Of course, if your greatest need is God, it may not be. You may think that's your greatest need, but you have some other needs that which stand between you and that first. So that's a little bit big one now. So the big needs that you have, which are easiest to deal with, the meditation is going to help you with that first. Because this talk is about meditation. Now why? Why will that be so? It's not a magic technique. There is a science here. There is a system. And it will do this because it is giving you an object of concentration which symbolizes in one way or another your goal. And then whatever comes in your mind as you're practicing meditation, as you're trying to concentrate on that goal, whatever comes in your mind, almost all of what will come in your mind will be things which conflict with that. These are your petty desires, your unnecessary needs, the things that you're worrying about, the things that are disturbing you. These are the things which will bubble in your, which do bubble in your mind all day long, uncontrollably. Ramakrishna was a great saint who lived in the late 1800s. And he talked about the mind. He said the mind is crazy. The mind is like a monkey. He said, no, the mind is like a wildly jumping monkey. No, he said, the mind is like a wildly jumping drunken monkey. No, he said, no, the mind is like a wildly jumping drunken monkey which has been bitten by a scorpion. He said the mind is like that. So this is what we are experiencing almost 24 hours a day, including when we're dreaming, that our mind just jumps around uncontrollably. And it's not that the moment that you start to try to meditate, immediately that's going to stop. And it is not only a misplaced understanding or desire that people will feel frustrated when they first start to do meditation if they don't get a calm and peaceful mind, but even it's a wrong concept, because we need that jumping mind. I'm going to explain to you why every moment of the meditation is valuable, even when you're unable to concentrate. Because you have two dynamics which are happening in the meditation. One of them is this goal toward which you're going, and the other one is all the other junk which is going on in your being. Both are important. It's not that all that other so-called junk is bad, but we have to deal with it. So there's two things which are happening here. One is that you're trying to get to your goal, and the other is that there's all this stuff in between you and that goal. Okay, now there's a basic science that how the goal is, the ultimate goal is symbolized. Okay, your immediate need may be that you need to become more patient. But your ultimate goal is to realize the total potentiality of yourself. The infinite potentiality of yourself. So that infinite potentiality of yourself, what is it called? It is called, it will surprise you what it's called. It's called God. Because what is the difference between an ideal person and God? There's no difference. The person who has realized the ideal of existence, they're a walking, talking medium of that infinite potentiality. And we want to become that. So the science here is, as you think, so you are. Or as you think, so you become. So the object of meditation is not just the breath. The object of meditation is not just a point. The object is not a circle. The object is not a candle flame. All of the things which I just now described, you can call either concentration techniques or relaxation techniques or both. But in meditation, there must be an object which symbolizes that infinity. And that is called, in meditation terms, that is called mantra. Mantra. This is a Sanskrit word. We use Sanskrit for a lot of important things, especially spiritual things. It's the language from which most languages have come, including not only Latin and Greek, but also English, and here our local language, Visayan. They all come out of Sanskrit. And so in Sanskrit, mantra. Man means mind, tra means liberate. So mantra is a word or a few words that you concentrate on during meditation in order to liberate or free your mind from its problems. That's mantra. Clear? So the mantra that we're using here, our basic general introductory mantra is Baba Nam Kevalam, which, as you know, Baba means infinite love, Nam means feeling, Kevalam means only. If you go into very, very deeply, Baba means the infinite beloved, the ultimate beloved. Nam means name, Kevalam means only. So in a way it means God's name only. But practically speaking it means love, the infinite love, feeling only. So that's an example of mantra. When we teach mantra to you individually, through a series of 6 lessons, we're teaching mantra and then other processes. So it will be different. The mantra that you need individually, the first mantra has only 2 syllables. The first syllable when you breathe in and the second syllable when you breathe out. The women have to learn from Didis and the men have to learn from Dadas. So we teach that individually if you want. It is not a necessity. So mantra, any mantra, the general mantra, the personal mantra, doesn't matter. They have 3 qualities. One quality of the mantra is that it will go with the breathing. So it has 2 parts. In the case of the individual mantras, there are 2 syllables. The first syllable in breath, second syllable out breath. Baba Nam in breath, Kevalam out breath. Why? We want the breathing to be slow. When the breathing is slow, automatically the mind will become concentrated. If after running, somebody says to you, or you're even in the midst of running, and somebody asks you a slightly difficult question, you'll say to them, please wait, I have to catch my breath. One time I did a race to raise money for cancer. And in the end, it just came in, it was probably the hardest race I ran in my life. And because there was somebody along the way who said, oh, the finish line is just there. And I ran as fast as I could, and still there was 5-10 minutes left to go. Whatever. So I came in and I was so out of breath completely, and the TV people were there and they said, Dada, we want to interview you. I said, no, let me catch my breath. They said, no. It's much more realistic with all the sweat and breathing hard. But why we want to breathe slowly, why we want to catch our breath, because otherwise we cannot think deeply. It is making the mind jumpy. So we want our mind to slow down, our breath to slow down. But if we will, with our eyes closed, think, I want to breathe very slowly, I must breathe very slowly, it will become very, very awkward. You'll become tense inside, you'll get nervous, and you'll be suppressing your breathing. So we don't want to think about breathing slowly. We want to do the mantra with the breath, so automatically it will go slowly. That's why in meditation instruction, we may say, breathe softly, but we don't say breathe slowly. This is just a psychological thing. So mantra is like that. And another thing of mantra is that you want to, ideally you can use it even when you're not with your eyes closed, when you're walking and doing different things. And you get it to go with your breathing, so it will continue 24 hours a day even when you're sleeping. This is another reason why it has to have two parts, why it needs to have rhythm. The first quality of mantra is rhythm. And the second quality of mantra is that it has power. So the mantras which we use, for example, you could use the word, if you were just to meditate on the word God, definitely that would be a kind of meditation. But this word has been used in so many different ways, with so many different connotations, with so many different dogmas also attached to it, that it is a little bit confusing. And even if you use a word that you like very much, it is different than a mantra, because the mantras have been used over and over again by yogis to empower them. Somebody said, I don't believe this idea. Somebody said this to Swami Vivekananda. Oh, I don't believe that a word can have power. And then Swami Vivekananda said to him, Sir, I'm very sorry, because you are a fool. And immediately this man said, a fool? How dare you call me a fool? And Vivekananda said, just see. I just did one simple word and see the power of that word. Well, that's not the kind of power that we want. But a word which has been repeatedly, over and over again, associated with a spiritual, expanding, infinite consciousness, love kind of concept, it has a power. Everything in this universe has a power. And this is the power we want. And so mantras have power. The third quality of mantra is that it has meaning. So each and every mantra, it must have meaning in relationship with infinite being or infinite consciousness or infinite love. Now, besides mantra, in meditation, there is also visualization. What is the purpose of visualization, and what is visualization? It means that in the beginning stage of meditation, in the beginning minutes of meditation, you're not thinking about the mantra. Yes, we are chanting mantra, and then we sit down. And then we're going deep, and we're not thinking the mantra. First of all, we're thinking about being alone, and we're thinking that everything around is not real. And then we're taking the visualization, the idea that there is divine light and love and infinite being all around, in every direction and even within. All of this is, I'm talking the introductory meditation. All of this is visualization. The purpose of the visualization is withdrawal and concentration. So when we think that I'm alone, and we have a visualization to help us to feel that we're alone, so we're withdrawing the mind from the external stimuli. And then in the visualization, we also have a process that we can withdraw our mind from our body. And in individually taught meditation, we give you a particular point in which you're to concentrate, which is connected with something called chakra. And by this, you completely concentrate the mind. This is in visualization, even before you start to repeat the mantra. So, withdrawing the mind from the external world, withdrawing the mind from the body, concentrating the mind, and feeling that God is all around and within. These are the purposes of visualization. This gives the effectiveness to the meditation. Now we go back to the original stuff that I was talking about. Why will the meditation, why will this process enable you to fulfill your needs? So, two things are happening, remember. You're trying to concentrate on the visualization and or the mantra. And second thing is, your mind is thinking so many other things. Now, these so many other things that you're thinking, I'll tell one more Sanskrit word. These so many other things that you're thinking, they're happening uncontrollably. They're happening uncontrollably. It is like there's a momentum inside of yourself which cannot be stopped. Now, according to Isaac Newton, physically there's a concept which is called action and reaction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay. Now, for the mind, the same thing is there. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. But when the reaction does not immediately express, it remains in a potential form. And that potential reaction, that unexpressed reaction, in Sanskrit is called samskara. S-A-M, skara. S-K-A-R-A. Sanskara. You might pronounce it samskara, you might pronounce it sanskara. So the sanskara is what? The unexpressed reaction, or the reaction in potentiality. Now, when you keep money in a bank, you develop interest. When you have a loan and you don't pay it back for some time, you have to pay more. The same thing happens to the reactions that have not yet expressed. They develop energy inside of your mind. They're not expressing, they're going deeper and deeper in your being, but they have to express sooner or later. They're causing tension and need, sometimes ununderstandable, unknown need inside of yourself because it gets buried in your subconscious mind. You did something to somebody which was not nice, even a year ago, and you never got the reaction. You said something not nice should have happened to you immediately, but it didn't happen. You avoided whatever. And you still have a need, a kind of subconscious need for punishment. But in any case, we have this subconscious need for reaction. I did something good, I never got the reward. I had a desire for rice, I couldn't get rice. I have a desire that people will like me or that I will do well in a particular sport, but it's not happening. So the action is the thought itself in some cases. In many cases, the action is a deed which has not yet. You follow? So these are unexpressed reactions, unexpressed needs or unfulfilled needs. And they are there causing tension in yourself. So when they do express, they're going to express in a stronger form than if you had them fulfilled the very moment you got the need. You understand? The very moment you had the need, maybe your need was this much, so the reaction would have been that much. But it comes after 1 year, it will be bigger expression. But in some cases, the needs are buried so deep, they're not expressed, they're not fulfilled your whole life, and it's still there. And I don't want to talk what happens when you die. I only want to speak about, let's deal with those sanskaras. Because those sanskaras, those unexpressed potential reactions, which are the same as tension and need and stress, they're standing between ourselves and the realization of our goal. That's the only thing which is standing in between. Because one of the sanskaras we have, for example, is to fulfill that goal. Yeah. So we have some good sanskaras. I have the sanskara to do as much good as I possibly can in my life. The more good that I do, the more that sanskara gets fulfilled. That one I will go on working with until my dying breath, and that's fine. But there's a lot of sanskaras I want to deal with. So now, during meditation, all these different thoughts, all these different needs bubbling away in direct form, in symbolic form. We may desire a car. For some reason we associate it with the color green. We saw a beautiful green car, and a green thing flashes through our mind during meditation or when we're dreaming, symbolizing that the need for a car. We don't need to analyze. We're not going to put you on a sofa and do psychoanalysis. And this meditation is more effective than such a psychoanalysis, because we don't have to understand what the things symbolize. We just need to do one thing. Every single thought that comes in your mind, the moment that you realize you're thinking, immediately you shift your mind from those thoughts back to the mantra and the visualization. Mind goes away, again you bring it back to the meditation. Mind goes away, again you bring it back. Every time that this shift happens, and you may think, oh, I'm not able to concentrate. But in fact, your mind is going back and forth within the 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes of meditation. Your mind may go back and forth hundreds of times. And every single time that your mind does that, you are redirecting the energy of your mind. You're redirecting it away from the samskara back to the idea of the meditation. And as you do this, each time you do this, you get a shift in your sense of identity. You get a shift in the energy which was locked in the samskara. You are burning the samskara by redirecting the energy in a good way. So instead of you're having those various the needs which are not needed, which are disturbing you, now you're getting more and more need to realize your goal. Now, some of the needs, for example, maybe in order to fulfill a great need in your life, you have to have the capacity of public speaking. It may be, just for example. Many people, to fulfill whatever target they have, different targets they have in their life, they should be able to speak better. But you cannot speak better if you're impatient, because then you will not listen deeply. You'll be in a hurry with what you're speaking. You cannot speak better if you're nervous. So on the way toward this very good and positive target, you deal with some of these negative things that are inside of yourself. And meditation tremendously enables you to do that. It's clearing the way to make it very easy for you to deal with whatever is disturbing, all those things are really disturbing you. That's why I say that I give the promise that if a person will practice meditation twice a day, every day, even just a few minutes, I can give 100% guarantee that within 1 month of practice, they will feel, oh, meditation, it's really helping me. Guaranteed. But it will be very different from person to person. Some people will feel, yeah, it's really helping me to become more calm. Another person will feel, it's really helping me to, now I feel I can stop, or I'm coming closer to stopping this or that very bad habit, or all those things we spoke about in the first minute. It's bringing a change that you enjoy, you need, you can sleep better, whatever it is. Even some people can digest better. So you will see the benefit, but you will not see it by believing in it. You will not see it by reading about it. You will not see it by listening to this discussion. You will see it by practicing it, by enabling yourself through these hundreds of little shifts that happen within the minutes that you're doing meditation each time, that you will get this change in yourself. And as you get this change in yourself, your needs will also undergo an evolution, will change. Your needs will become more and more subtle. Instead of needing I just want to have friends or something like that. You get a need to do something very good and great, at least for your family, and then for your community, and then for the greater society. You get a deeper need to realize, who am I? And what is this? So, two needs especially will increase as you do meditation. The need to serve others and the need for self-realization, because these two needs they're going to make your life glorious as they get fulfilled. So that's automatic. And that makes the life much more interesting. That's why in this whole system of yoga, it is coming out of Tantra. In Tantra, we don't have suppression. We have channelization. Because suppression is unhealthy. So we're not forcing our desires to stop. We're not forcing our mind to stop thinking. We're channelizing our desires so our life becomes more interesting and colorful and fun and great. And we are channelizing our desire to realize something more and more interesting. And we are not stopping our thought. You know, you may learn a meditation technique or hear of some meditation technique which you must stop thinking. That is an interesting system. It is a concentration technique. But better if instead of stopping thinking, you keep thinking, but you only think about the infinite being. In the end, it becomes the same. Because when the mind gets completely absorbed in infinite being or infinite love, there's no small or relative thought left anyways. But that is ultimately. So to get success in meditation, two things are needed. First, to practice meditation at least twice a day. And second, really speaking, you need to do meditation with other people from time to time. If you don't meditate with others, it will be very hard for you to keep doing the meditation alone. Because when you do meditation alone, sometimes it's very beautiful. When you really get into the mantra, it's very beautiful. And sometimes it's just, work. Because you're dealing with all the junk which is coming up inside yourself. If you were to pay attention, you'd see that every single time after you do meditation, you're feeling better, actually. No matter how much thought you have. But most people, when they'll sit for meditation, if they have a lot of thought, then they'll feel, I can't concentrate. And that will stop you from meditating unless you're doing meditation with other people, if possible, at least about once a week. Because if you do meditation with others, there's a collective, a beautiful vibration which reinforces and helps you as you help the others. And that enables you to keep going with your own meditation every day. And when your own meditation becomes so deeply ingrained in yourself, because you love it so much, that you don't want to eat unless you've done meditation. You have the habit, I will never eat my breakfast until I've done meditation in the morning. If possible, you have the habit, I will not have dinner in the evening unless I've done meditation. Or, in the worst, I won't sleep unless I've done meditation. But it is better to have a sleepy meditation in the night than no meditation. The habit is, there's nothing more important than this habit, even if it's a mechanical meditation. Just do it. And keep the habit going for a long time until you can't think to be without it. We have many bad habits. Let's have one good habit. So, when we sit for meditation, then we want to sit, for example, if you can adjust the camera, we want to sit, you can sit like this, or you can sit or a little bit better, you sit like this. If your legs are very flexible, you sit like this. But for those of you who cannot easily sit like this, then you're going to take a cushion and sit on the cushion, and it raises your hips up. So your knees are lower. Can you throw me the cushion? And if this is not enough for you, then you might take another cushion. And can you pass me that, please? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. And if this is not enough, if this is not giving you sufficient support, or more importantly, if your knees are really much too less flexible, Then you may sit on a little chair or a little stool. So you'll sit like that. Then it's easy. Better not to put your back against the support unless you have a real problem with your back. And if your feet feel pain from this, your feet are stiff or something, then you can put a blanket or a cushion under your feet. And gradually over time you'll see that you can. You sit lower, closer to the floor. Okay, when we do that, why do we want to sit with our legs like this? Because it will keep the energy in. We lock our hands together, we keep our back straight, so that the energy doesn't. If you allow yourself to move like this, then you'll fall asleep. You'll be in dreaming. You won't be in meditation. So we sit straight. We lock the back. We lock the hands. We lock the legs. We lock the eyes. If you turn your tongue back in your mouth, you lock your tongue. There's all this system in yoga. So everything is going internal. This is the sitting position. Okay. Now, there's two practices here which complement each other. One is meditation, and the other is kirtan. Kirtan is K-I or K-double-I, either way. R-T-A-N. Kirtan. And kirtan means to sing Dada Dharma-Vedananda. Why do we do that? So that we'll get... It's much easier to concentrate when the mantra is out loud, and it gives a nice feeling because we're singing it, and it gives a good feeling. So we want to get concentration, and we want to get deep feeling before we start the silent meditation. If you don't sing Bhavaram Kevalam, or you don't sing mantra before trying to do silent meditation, then you're starting with a very jumpy mind. So we take that mind and we sing mantra, and the mind will automatically become in some significant control and nice feeling. So we should do kirtan for how long? Should it be for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes? It's a trick question. It should be until you get a deep feeling. Sometimes it will need 3 minutes and sometimes it will need 10 minutes. So you sing until you get a deep feeling, and then immediately stop and immediately do meditation. Why? Kirtan is not as good as meditation. If you only do kirtan and not meditation, your mind will go deep. You'll open your eyes, start to do something else, and you'll immediately jump out. Because it has been based on a physical vibration. Kirtan is not only psychic and spiritual, it's also physical. So that's why the moment that we finish singing kirtan, we should immediately become quiet and do this meditation to shift from physical, psychic, spiritual to only psycho-spiritual, so the vibration won't get lost. In fact, for people who have very disturbed minds, and it's very hard for them to sit in silent meditation, we only have them do kirtan. We'll have them do a long kirtan, and at the end of the long kirtan, we'll have them do meditation just for maybe 3 minutes. So they will not lose the effect of the kirtan. It will stay with them. If we ask them to do meditation 10 or 15 minutes, they'll start to think all kinds of crazy things. And I've done this in prisons, I've done this in mental institutions, and in every case, and I've done it with little kids who are very noisy, and in every case, the teachers, the superintendents, the supervisors, in every case, they say to me, just after one session, they'll say to me when I come back 1 week later, they'll say, the kids or our clients, they were much better for 2 or 3 days after you left. You have to come more often, Dada. So kirtan is very powerful. And to make it more powerful, so if you involve also if you can catch me in my full regalia, if you incorporate into it the movement, then you have a full-fledged kirtan. So it is not just singing, not just chanting, but we move with the feet are moving like that. So you're stepping behind your foot, and you're doing this on the ball, of the big toe or the big toes. And this area is stimulating your pineal, your pituitary gland. And that is going to help your concentration. It's kind of acupuncture. Number 2, you're bending your knees like that. So you're loosening your knees, it becomes easier to sit. Then you're touching your mind point, your heart point, and you keep your arms in this way. So why do we keep our arms like that? If we keep our arms down, it has a meaning. Every position of the body has a meaning. The meaning of this is, I'm ready to work. The meaning of this is, what does it mean? I'm strong. The meaning of this is what? I surrender. It has a double meaning. I surrender, and I open myself to the cosmic flow. I become a funnel for the cosmic flow, which is all coming in here. And that's why when we do kirtan, dancing, with our eyes closed, we must concentrate our mind in the top chakra, this top point, to invite this cosmic, beautiful cosmic energy to enter there as we're singing the kirtan. You do it with your eyes closed, and only open your eyes in those rare moments that you think you might be, by mistake, walking out the door. So these are the meditation practices, and in the end I'll say that if you have a good experience with this and you want to learn your own meditation, of course for free, then we're teaching, and that it goes through a series of 6 lessons, and those are very, very valuable for you to learn. It takes about 2 or 3 months in between lessons. You should learn them as quickly as you can. Then you should be in touch with a Dada or a Didi, according to who you are, to teach it. And then you'll learn and develop. That's not a necessity, but of course we offer it at the same time. Thank you very much. Okay. So do you immediately get any particular question that you want to ask? Because maybe I have left something out that you want to ask about. Okay, so then it was enough as it was, Madhu.